Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to take a look at the Earin M2. Let's check it out. Now, a few years ago, we had taken a look at the Earin first generation earbud. And as we've been reviewing the next generation earbuds, looking at the Jabra series, the IQ Buds, and then also like the Braggy Dash, I received several requests on the channel to take a look at the M2s from Earin. So very happy that they were very responsive and sent us a review unit for us to check out. So let's do the unboxing. Let's see what these are all about and see if you're interested in the Earin M2. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available. Now, during the review, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to look at the unboxing, we're going to review the specs, we're going to talk about the audio quality as you're listening to music. We'll talk about call quality, and that's going to be the incoming call. How do you hear it? And then we're going to do a outdoor audio call test to see what does the person hear when you're using these to take a phone call. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the specs. So let's take a look at some of the details that they're highlighting here in their packaging. So a couple claims here that we see. First off, we see that we have noise-free calls. So they claim that using their algorithms and their technology that you're going to be able to listen, but you're also going to be heard as well on the other side. High quality audio. So you would expect that we're going to have some good bass and good treble and mids. We'll prove that out in a couple minutes. And then the other thing is audio transparency. And we're seeing audio transparency more and more in a lot of the earbuds. So for those of you who have never heard of this audio transparency feature, it's about giving you the ability to hear what's going around you while you're using the earbuds. So we do talk about active noise canceling. We talk about passive noise canceling, where the foam tips kind of block out the world. More and more earbuds are looking for the ability to do both, where you can hear music, but then also you can kind of dial in or dial out what you hear going on around you. And that's really important, especially if you're a runner or someone that's just walking outside. I always see people with these big ear headphones covering their ears, and they have no clue what's going on around them. So that audio transparency, to me, it's a great deal, and it's important. You have touch controls, so you can tap on these for certain controls. They're super lightweight, I can tell you already, and then they're in a little capsule, as you can see right here. Now, for those of you who are really interested on battery life, check that out right there. So we have 4 hours of continuous usage, up to 14 hours of usage with the capsule. So that means on every recharge, and they'll charge as fast in 40 minutes, where you can get another full charge. And then from a normal usage perspective, you can use these to watch movies, to stream Netflix, to do all the things that you want to do with earbuds, and not having to worry about things being out of sync. So let's take a look at what's inside. Now, I always like it when companies really think about packaging, and I just want to show you the experience with this one. So you slide this over, you have your user guide, we'll put it aside, but then what you have here is this cork material that's magnetically sealed. Notice that doesn't do anything. So as soon as you open it up, here you have, and they're detachable, okay? What you have is micro USB charging cable, ear tips, and then your capsule with your earbuds. Now, from an earbud perspective, you do have multiple sizes here, and these are those comply foam type earbuds or tips, where you squeeze them and they kind of shrink down and then they expand on their own. So you have 2, 4, 6 of them, one for each size, using various sizes. And then what you have is some silicone ones as well. Now keep in mind that when you're wearing these, your ears are not always going to be 100% the same size. So if you have to go with a larger one and a small one, that's okay. There's no problem with the earbud. There's no problem with you. We're all different on each side of our ears. So just make sure that you grab the right one that feels the most comfortable and the one that is the most secure, so that they don't fall out. All right, so let's talk about the specs for a bit. So each one of the earbuds has a 60 milliamp hour battery. We talked about a play time of up to 4 hours, and the charging time of 1.5 to get them fully charged. But you can get away with a 40-minute charge from what I'm told from the company. They do have dual antenna technology that's going to ensure that you have a stable connection, and you are able to connect it to 2 devices. So you can pair it to 2 devices, but keep in mind that you cannot have them connected in live mode to two devices at the same time, and for it to switch automatically from one phone to the other. So you can pair them with two devices, but they can only maintain a Bluetooth signal with one. And they are using Bluetooth 4.2. So they have the standard Bluetooth range, as you would expect, of 30 feet. And they do have an IP certification. So these guys are IP certified 52, which means that you can use them at the gym. They're sweat and dust proof, so you'd have no problem there. They do have motion sensors as well as an accelerometer going on there, so that it knows when you take it out of your ear and it knows when you put it back. Now, from an audio perspective, as we take a look at these, you may be asking yourself, what type of driver? So this may be something that the audiophiles will be interested in. This is a Knowles balanced armature speaker that they have inside. And also, it does support various codecs like aptX, which is really popular. They have 4 integrated microphones. It does have noise canceling, and it has the ambient pass-through that we just talked about. Now, let's talk about the capsule itself. So this capsule, which we're going to look at all of the features that it has a 600 milliamp hour battery, and it's going to give you the ability to charge your earbuds 3 times. And it's very lightweight, so you're looking at around 56 grams, and it uses a standard micro USB charging port, as you can see that there. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the earbuds and the case and how everything all works together. Now, your earbuds are stored in this cool capsule. As soon as you pull this out like this, you'll see their earbuds, and you'll see if they're charged or not. Now, the interesting thing is that you only have one color. Let me cover that up so you can see that well, because the light is somewhat changing the color. They're both an amber color, amber indicating that they're fully charged, not the standard green that we have seen. If they are charging, they'll be blinking, so these indicate that they are fully charged. Now, the earbuds, as they get placed inside of this container or the capsule, are magnetically locked into place. So you can see how they just are self-guiding. At times, I find that you just have to position it a little bit, but they do snap in nicely. Once you snap it in, all you have to do, and you'll see how it's starting to pulse, indicating that it's determining if it needs a charge. All you do is you slide it closed just like this. Now, as you're charging and you have something plugged in here, the micro USB, you're also going to see a LED light indicating that it is charging the case itself. So you can charge your case and your earbuds at the same time. All right, so let's take a look at the earbud itself. So we're going to remove one, put this aside. First thing I wanted to highlight is that it does have an LED, and that goes away once it has a successful connection. It does have the Earin brand going around it, and this is an area that you can tap once, twice, or 3 times, and different functions are going to take place. This is where your speaker is, and the memory foam or the comply foam for your ears. You just press it in like this when you stick it into your ear. All right, you just squish it, and it fits in nicely. You'll notice that it doesn't have, all it has is a dot here. Matter of fact, each one of these only have a dot, and the dot doesn't really indicate left or right. So it doesn't matter which ear you put it in, it automatically recognizes it and it adjusts for the left or right channel. Now, the way you put these in, these contact points, which are your charging contact points, are going to be going towards the back of your ear. So when you put them in your ear, imagine if this was my ear, I'd put it in like this, and then that's how they would sit inside of my ear. Now, because they're so small, and you can see how tiny these guys are. I'll put them right here in my desk so you can see that. That's how small they are. They almost disappear in your ear because they're super, super small. They're also very, they fit well in your ear. And I really haven't experienced much fatigue, although I will say because you have to play with the comply foam tips to find the right one for you so that you can use them for extended period of times. But they do get really nice seal, and again, what I like is that they don't stand out. I had reviewed the Bose, and I really didn't care for them that much. They didn't even make it to my channel. And also Sony's, because they stood out so much, you looked like you had something growing out of your ear. These, I'll tell you, they fall in nicely, and when we do the outdoor review, you'll be able to see how well they fit in your ear. So you have those contact points once again on the side. That's going to be your charging points, and that's it. Pretty simple. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about audio quality. From a bass, mids, and highs, you feel it all. So you get all of those in a really decent range for something that's this small. The other thing is that the noise isolation that you get because of the foam is really good. I have not experienced any audio leakage or music leakage coming out of it, and they are loud. We're talking like painfully loud if you don't if you have them running at the highest volume. So watch your volume, because the great thing about these is that you won't suffer from earbuds that you just can't hear. The other neat thing about these is that you can use one earbud at a time. So you don't have to have them both on. You can use one. And remember, if you're going to get 4 hours in one, you could extend the life of 4 to another one, another 4, and you can have 8 hours just by switching earpieces and having one in one ear. Now, in order to accomplish that, both of these earpieces have to be Bluetooth connected to your phone. So as you're doing the pairing process, pair one, take it out of the case, pair it, and then put it back, and then take the other one out. And when you see the other ear-in show up in your Bluetooth, you'll pair that. So you'll have them both connected, and that way you can switch back or forth. If you don't do that, you're only going to be able to have one connected at a time, because one becomes a master and the other one becomes a slave. So just be aware of that if you want to use them. Now, in addition to the music being great with these, you do have, from a call quality perspective, you do get stereo sound. So both of these are going to be at the same time. And you can, again, use them for phone calls, using them as a mono solution as well. In other words, only using one earpiece. Now let's talk about battery life. How's been the battery life with these guys? They've been around the 4 hours, but I'll say that I haven't been able to kill them completely, because as you've notice that most of these true wireless earbuds have this travel case that's also a charger. So as soon as you take them out of your ear, I haven't had a commute outside of an I would say travel on a plane that has been more than 4 hours. So if I'm on the train, it's going to be a quick 30 minutes to an hour. If I'm in a commute in a car, it's the same thing. And when I take them off and put them in the capsule and lock them, they're charging automatically. So you can easily go with these with a full week without a charge. At the gym, no issues as well. And one thing I'll say is that the audio transparency is something that I recommend everyone use. Now let's talk about audio transparency. How do these work? I'd say that they're average. They don't excel. They're not as good as some of the other ones that we reviewed on the channel. So when you think about the IQ Buds, I would say are the best when it comes to audio transparency, followed by the Jabra series, and the Earin would follow that. I found that you can hear and you can adjust things, but it's not as clear and it's not as loud when you're doing the audio transparency feature or being able to hear what's going on around you. Again, it's not completely muffled, but I wish it was a little bit clearer. So if you're looking for something that has a lot of audio transparency capability, this may not be the solution you're looking for. That being said, I do know that the Earin company is updating these. They're firmware upgradable, and they're always tuning these. So you may see improvements as you're using these, or as the product continues to mature, since this is a new product. Now let's take a quick look at the app. So the app gives you the ability to do various adjustments. You can adjust the gain, you can adjust the balance, so you can move it left or right. And then also you can adjust the transparency audio. So you can decrease or increase the volume. And there is a slight difference. It's not as significant as I've seen with other solutions, but you can do that. And then you can adjust that transparency for a near conversation, or if there is something that you want to have transparency and be able to pick up things that are further away. One of the things that I noticed with this is, as I adjusted this, I had a gallon of water that I was just slushing back and forth. And what would happen is, once you increase this from near to far, the definition or the clarity of the water slushing back and forth became very, very perceptible. And then as I brought this down, it kind of drifted away. So there are perceivable changes when you do this. You do also have this where it happens automatically. You can turn it off completely, and you'll have a certain degree of silence that comes with that, because you're not picking up anything on the outside. You also can have this on all the time, so you can go from on to off, which kind of brings a lot of silence, to auto, where you're going to be able to let the phone determine what is heard. So that's pretty much it. And also, there is a power button, so you can press a power to turn off the earbuds. There's a menu here that, if we go into it, just shows where you can rename the earbuds. You have support page information, get into chat, or go to the online store. Alright guys, so let's go outside. We're going to do an audio test. We're going to look at look and feel. We're going to look at if they will fall out of your ears, doing a shake test, and then we'll see how a caller that you're calling, what kind of audio quality are they going to have? Because I'm telling you, that is really important nowadays. You don't want to have earbuds that just sound good to you. You want earbuds that can support the person who's calling you, and they want to have crystal clear, noise-free conversations with you. So let's check it out. All right, guys, so we're going to do an outdoor audio test. So I'm here in the beautiful city of Chicago. I have the earbuds in, and what you're hearing right now is what you would hear if I wasn't making a phone call. You're hearing the normal audio, the ambient noise around me. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a phone call, and we're going to see what is heard through that phone call. How much of cars passing by, birds chirping, how much of that noise is being picked up. So let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, so now what you're hearing is the actual audio that's coming from the mic as we're making a phone call. So this is what your callers hear when they're speaking to you. And this is really important because the audio quality of not only the call that you're hearing in your ear, but the person that's calling you can hear is really important to any conversation. So you'll see that there's cars passing by, the wind is blowing. I also have some birds chirping, and you'll be able to perceive how much is being picked up. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is do a shake test. Before we do a shake test, I wanted to show you what the earbuds look like. I'm going to get a little bit closer to the camera so you can see how small these are. So if I go this way, you'll notice that they almost completely disappear on each side. So I hardly see anything on either one of these sides. So let's get closer again. And if I do a shake test, let's see if it'll fall out of my ear. So we're going to do the shake test. They don't come out. Now, when you insert them in your ear, I'm going to take one out so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to take it out, and now this is the earbud. And I'm going to put it back in my ear, just like this. All right? And then that's how it fits when it goes in. You notice how here are my tap controls? And so this is the audio test of the, again, Earin and color are going to hear. Remember, you do get stereo sound in these. You are able to hear in one earbud. Carrying both at the same time on the phone, so you can switch. You can do nothing like here, automatically. You know what you think about this audio test?
So let's talk about what my final thoughts are about the Earin M2. First of all, they do extremely well for music, so very comfortable in your ears, good mix of bass, mids, and highs. Good noise isolation. Noise cancellation, I can't really tell the difference between what it does from a noise canceling versus what the foam tips are doing from a passive perspective. And that's because even the application itself, as I look at the app, I didn't really see much of a change as I made adjustments. It wasn't super noticeable. And I'm comparing it to other earbuds like this that are truly wireless that have these features, either active noise canceling or the ability to hear what's around you. I found that there's an opportunity to tweak these a little bit more. Battery life is good, and then overall, the stay in your ear concept, they really don't come out. So if you're looking for something that's going to stick in your ear, something that's small and it's good for audio, then these are definitely something to consider. If you're looking for something that does a fantastic job with noise canceling, I think that there are better options out there. If you're looking for something that has that mixed reality where you're listening to the world and also listening to music and something's going on, or keeping these on without taking them off and listening, they're not really at par, what I would say, with the others in the industry. Now that may be addressed with firmware changes as you move forward, but that's just my feeling about the earbuds. So that concludes our review of the Earin M2 earbuds. If you have any comments or questions, leave it in the comment area. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.